Hello everybody, Neo here, back with another episode of Nostalgiacraft. So, after that cave sound scared me away last episode, I went a little bit deeper to mine. I just ended up mining some cobblestone, didn't find anything necessarily perfect. Um, what I also did was somewhat try and rebuild the house. Well, not necessarily rebuild, just more making it have a grounded feel. So what I first replaced here was the floor, and then I introduced these stone let's call them stabilizers for now. And I built this part. I'm planning on having glass panels here if they do come in existence. I'm not sure in what version exactly, but there's definitely gonna be glass in this area, and maybe on one of the side at the very least, just so it doesn't look dead inside. Um, this problem with the slabs still persists. I don't know if we want to keep them or not, but I feel like later on it could be better, so we might just not end up having anything placed here. But yeah, the finish here would be made out of wood. There would be a regular stair roof. Um, if you notice, I have iron armor now. Was that a wolf? Um, right. So I got papers. I tried to use bone meal to try and get some seeds for. Well, let me just show you. I've used up a bunch of wood to build a bunch of fences to prepare for a farm, but then I found out that I do not know where to find seeds. So I just ended up placing sugar canes here, thinking that'd be a good compromise. Instead, there is no hunger bar here, so it doesn't matter for now. Um, right, I forgot to add a second fence here. Let me just quickly replace that little path there. Looks a bit nicer, a bit darker as well. So you might have noticed that we are in a new version 1.401, specifically the bug fix version, because 1.4 had some issues with beds and respawning. So that's just in case we die, is why we're on this version. But the major addition to this version is the addition of... I still don't know why random animals spawn like this. Let me just go around for a quick second. I'm pretty sure I saw something up there earlier, in particular. Right, I should probably bring my bones. But this version basically introduced a new mob. I'm pretty sure you guys can already assume which one. I just need to find it. I'm pretty sure I saw one in the surrounding area earlier, and not just a bunch of white sheep. I totally saw one. That is weird tree placement, I'm not gonna lie, over there. Right, so why is there a dirt block placed here? Oh well, this is a bummer. I'm pretty sure I could have sworn I saw that new added mob. Oh, well, since I guess the secret was out and it was a bit obvious, the new mob that was added in this version was well, the wolves. Now, I'm not sure if they're tameable yet. I do know that they've had aggression since the beginning. As in, like, they'll attack you if you hurt them or anything like that. That is pretty natural. I'm pretty sure they were, like, one of the first neutral mobs that came in existence. As in, like, if you hurt them, they'll attack you. And I feel like the idea for Enderman came in slightly with that as well. I want to get back quickly to our house. Just to store a bit of stuff. We, however, will not be sleeping tonight. Since we had a change of plans. We will be hunting for dogs. But we will also be dealing with some mobs for the next 15 minutes. It's just basic. There's no XP bar, but bones and gunpowder will prove useful a bit later on. Hence, why we're going to beat them up and kill them for no reason. Also, I'm not sure how far away I am from, like, an area with sand. Hopefully not that far. Also need to place torches here, just so nothing spawns in randomly out of nowhere. Oh yeah, anyways, the version progression, like I said, it's a bit slow, but it's manageable. Like I said, every 2 to 3 episodes we will be switching up the version slightly, especially in beta, since there weren't many necessary changes until, like, the addition of the end and so forth. And, like, about 3 versions later, there's the skeleton. There's the mobs we were talking about. We just keep firing on like it's nothing. Find it pretty funny. Where's the zombie? Could have sworn I saw a zombie earlier. Also, speaking of, there is a buckload of sheep here for some reason, and I'm not sure why. They might have bred, they might have not. But I just find it obnoxiously funny that a bunch of herd of sheep and pigs just randomly spawn in out of nowhere, as if to tell me, hey dude, go to sleep. Make a bed, you know? Zombies are pretty easy to deal with. The skeletons are the bigger problem. It's like, sometimes I don't end up seeing them in the pitch black dark, since in these versions, early versions, it was especially dark somewhat during that, even with torches around. As you can see, the lighting is a bit weird like that. Unfortunately so. But I feel like it adds to the nostalgia effect of the beta versions, with them being, like, very dark at night, which is, I feel like, somewhat of a show of realism, as with, like, what life exactly is, for example. Like, it's somewhat of a replication, but not a complete one. Because, again, it's not completely dark, but even with these slight light sources, well, it's not gonna be making it all night and sunshine immediately, right? I'm gonna go inside real quick. Luckily, I crafted some mushrooms too to recover a bit. What also seems to be the problem is we're lacking our leather helmet and leather pants now. So yeah, that is quite unfortunate. Let us cook up this pork chop so we have something to eat if we get our last stew up. I'm just trying to throw away that dirt. Right, so, and I'm still confused about the herd of sheep, but the darkness, it adds to the nostalgia effect of these older versions, and to be honest, I kind of like the way they're integrated. I mean that it's integrated. It's just that in very early versions, that is a creeper run. It's just that in very early versions, well, you can run, that's for sure, and so creepers end up being a pain to deal with. Ow. And another thing I wanted to point out was, okay, to be honest, I just feel like I hate dealing with mobs. Let's just sleep real quick to get rid of them. I don't necessarily like dealing with them most of the time. And of course, there's a spider. Get out of my house. Respect my authority. We're just gonna let them burn up for a bit and then we'll go outside. I look at him trying to aim. But most of the time, some mobs do tend to despawn, some of them don't. Which I kind of find a bit weird. Nonetheless. But I'm kind of wondering, where's that wolf that despawned? Also, why are there a bunch of cows now? Let's just use them to farm some litter. Fortunately, we have no use for wool. And of course, like, we can't create an animal farm yet because we don't have the required stuff to do so. You can tell a bunch of zombies died here because they used to drop feathers. I'm not sure why they used to drop feathers. But kind of find it funny. There's a bunch of creepers now trying to surround me. Yeah, like, arguably, right now, I think the most difficult thing to deal with in early beta versions is due to the fact that you can't run away. The creepers, like, they're very difficult to run away. Like, you can step away, but they don't, like, give you that much distance at all. Which is partially why I think the sprinting mechanic was added in. Since people were probably complaining about some mobs being a bit too hard to deal with sometimes. Also, other than just being able to go anywhere a lot faster. And just to counteract the effectiveness of running, they, well, Notch decided to also add in a hunger bar, probably. Or at least that's my headcanon. Gonna end up racking up a lot of feathers. I'd really like to end up finding a dog. As again, I saw one earlier and I'm like, where could he have gone other than possibly despawning? Like he shouldn't have been able to go away that far either, no? Surely. I might be mistaken, but... Hmm. Oh, look! A bunch of blocks in the sky. God, we had our first encounter with that here. That's one thing about the beta versions is they had somewhat of a broken generation of blocks sometimes. And it was kind of funny to find these blocks always. Now, for example, you could also get to the edge of the world and there's a thing called the Far Lands. Did that creeper just appear out of thin air? That's impossible, right? He couldn't have just popped out of midair. Like, I don't understand where he appeared from. That is weird. Like, he just insta-spawned. Well, this seems to be, like, quite the large cave system. Or as large as it can get. It's it's not even a cave system, it just has some coal in it, which we will mine. Just again, I hope a creeper doesn't spawn in out of thin air. And that was something I wasn't really expecting, despite everything known to be happening in beta Minecraft. And it just generally sometimes gives me the spooks, which I guess equates to a bit of funny moments, but still, I don't like them. Hope I end up finding a sheep like that, in that color, that we can bring to the farm. Man, these structures are weird. And also, I still don't get why there's an absurd amount of sheep. I feel like there should be other mobs spawning in instead. But maybe it's just a random generation. I'm not sure. And there really isn't much that I can do here. Unfortunately, my plans were ruined since the dog disappeared. Again, those squids are just chilling there for absolutely no reason. They're just squid squad. You guys enjoy yourselves. um, right. And it's quite weird that just mobs happen to disappear and spawn out of thin air. And I feel like that's what happened to that dog that I once found in front of my house. Well, when I say once found out of my house, I mean like before I just started the video. And, well, unfortunately our plans have been ruined, right? There seems to be another cave right there. Let's check it out. And lots of coal again. I will not mine it yet, because that would be pretty boring to do right now. Oh yeah, one feature I forgot about in these beta versions is that by pressing the F key, you can make your game a whole lot scarier. Sorry I had to pause the video right there. I had to speak to somebody real quick, but hopefully it wasn't anything that will turn you off. I just had to pause the video real quick, didn't even move away from the spot. Uh, One thing that I would like to do when in the next few episodes of Minecraft is build a bookshelf in this area and figure out how to decorate the rest of the area so it doesn't look that basic. Here on the roof, we're just gonna have to finish up and wait until we like find an area full of sand and yeah, simply just being able to decorate stuff. It's going to be a bit difficult. Um, what I can do though is build carpets, I think. Maybe? I'm not sure. Yeah, no, even carpets didn't exist in this version for some. Their decorations were probably introduced a bit later since it wasn't like the main problem or they were the main focus. The main focus was the survival aspect of the game. However, I'm pretty sure since there's paper and leather, there has to be um, a way to craft books, right? Although I feel like I've kind of forgotten the recipe due to a bit of my rustiness. But yeah, we fought some mobs today. We lost a wolf that we were going to tame, possibly, if they were even tameable. You know, speaking of wolves, man, I just love it when animals spawn this way. They don't attack anybody, or they don't even come near even if you have the bone. But they do tend to run away, but you can tame them. So let's tame these guys. Oddly enough, the amount of bones they require is also fairly uh generate, as in like it takes 1 to 4 bones usually. I don't know what. Well, we didn't see what happened, but again, thin air and popping out of nowhere, random teleportation of mobs. But there might have not completing our goal. We managed to do it, and I'm pretty happy about it. You, my friend, sit here. I wonder if he's gonna be able to teleport. Where even is he? I feel like. Oh, oh. I feel like mobs just keep spawning out of thin air out of nowhere. It's just really weird. And he's trying to get in, but he can't. Because in these older versions, mobs are like fairly huge, so to say. We're just gonna get rid of our door real quick. See if he can get through. And he can. That is great. So, we managed to complete our objective of the episode. We went a bit exploring again. We dealt with some mobs, and we tamed the new mob that was introduced in this game, the wolf. On the next episode, we will be focusing on getting sand and possibly a bit more decoration. There might be version switch in 2 to 3 episodes. to beta 1.5, because again there wasn't really that was anything that was of much importance added in these like versions up to 1.6, 1.73, etc. So in general we might just end up exploring and mining, since that's all that we can do. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for listening to my little podcast. Look at me talking. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.